So if you play Dead Island, you know John Sinamoi as the first person you meet after the madness begins. He's a lifeguard, but more than that, he quickly becomes the leader we all rely on. But why? What make this guy step up when so many others can run? That's what I want to talk about today. Sinamoi isn't your usual kind of hero. He's not displaying weapons like some of the other characters. Rather, he acts as the cool head that leads us through the pandemonium like the calm in a storm. I believe this is the case since he has a strong bond with the island's residents. He is determined to keep everyone safe at all costs because he knows Banoi like the back of his hand. This is where things start to become interesting. You can tell there's more to Sinamoi's narrative if you pay attention to the small clues in the game, such as his speech patterns. He's not just a guy about his business, but he has a history and a possible few personal troubles. I've always had a feeling that he carries an unnoticed weight and that something in his past has equipped him for this ordeal. One significant event that challenges his moral compass and leadership is when Laura, which is one of the survivors from the Lifeguard Tower, is suffering from pneumonia and is mistaken by paranoid survivors for being infected. Sinamoi is thrust into a heartbreaking situation. The fear and desperation among the survivors lead them to believing that killing Laura is the only way to ensure their safety. However, Sinamoi's humanity and compassion drive him to protect her despite the overwhelming pressure from the group. This scenario not only highlights the chaos and fear that grips Banoi, but also it showcases Sinamoi's character, his refusal to abandon his morals even in the most dire circumstances. It's a power example of the kind of leadership he provides, balancing the need for survival with the ethical challenges that arise in such a brutal environment. Sinamoi struggled to protect Laura despite the fear and paranoia of the other survivors, puts him in a position where he has to balance his responsibility as a leader with his empathy as a human being. This kind of moral dilemma weighs heavily on him, making it a significant personal burden during the chaos of a zombie outbreak. One of the things I love about Sinamoi is how he leads. He doesn't boss people around, instead, he listens and respects other people's opinions and stays level-headed even when things are falling apart. That's the kind of leader that you need in a situation like that in the zombie apocalypse. He's got this quiet strength, and it's clear that the other survivors trust him because of it. Honestly, I think we could all learn a thing or two from how Sinamoi handles pressure. So what's the takeaway here? For me, John Sinamoi is the heart of Banoi. He might not be out there fighting zombies on the front lines, but his role is just as important, maybe even more so. He's the glue that holds the group together, the guy who makes sure everyone has a fighting chance. It is easy to overlook characters like Sinamoi, but when you really think about it, he's one of the reasons anyone survives at all. And that, my friends, is why he's one of my favorite characters in the game.